blank, blank, blank. Get them set up the right way right in front of you, which is confidence. All right? And then before I play the video, I want to do an intro into me. I want to do an intro into the company, because they're still confused. They have no idea what's going on still. They got a couple of details from you in the pre-screen. They definitely, for 90% of people, haven't researched the company. If they're a PR, they still don't know what's going on. So I realized that I need to give them a little bit of background before I just say, great, welcome to the office. Here's where I'm running interviews. We're one of the top offices. I'm really excited about this play. And they're still like, oh, now it's knives. Okay, it's knives. Now they're like trying to figure all this out. I want to give them some insight. So I say, well, first off, guys, welcome to this portion of the interview. Congratulations for being accepted to that. I want to reintroduce myself to you guys and then chat a little bit about our team. I love our team. They're my favorite people. I love them to death, so I got to talk a little bit about what they've been accomplishing while I'm running interviews right now. So again, my name's Alex Mazurek. I'm the district manager. It means I get to pretty much do everything. I've got the best job on the planet. I've been with Vector for about 8 years now, coming up on 8 years. I was recommended to the position by my best friend. His name's Corey Shaw. He's a district manager as well. He's my OG homie. Him and I go way back. And he recommended me for this job right out of high school. I was 17 years old, right out of high school, graduated from Heritage High School, which is more down in Littleton. And he got this position before I did. He was working with 4 of my other best friends. We'd all played football together all 4 years in high school. And they had the job for about 3 weeks before I did. And I was working a different job before this job I was working at Elitch's. I freaking hated that job. And everybody knows Elitch's, Six Flags, Elitch Gardens, it's the worst place. And so they laughed at my hate for that. But I was like, yeah, I hated that. Elitch's was the type of job, and the reason I didn't like it, Elitch's was the type of job where you could work twice as hard as everybody else, but at the end of the week you got paid the same as everybody else. And that really frustrated me, because I always considered myself to be more of a motivated person. Somebody who I really felt like I deserved, for the effort that I put into things, a little bit more. There was zero recognition, there was no opportunity to advance or move up, and at the same time, Corey was working with Vector, and he was doing really well with it. He was working with my other buddies, and they were really killing this job, and I got really fed up with my time at Elitch's. They scheduled me exactly on a time that I had requested off, and so I asked him to put in a good word, and he did. I got interviewed by a guy named Drew Frank. I'm going to talk a bit about him later on. And I got accepted. And immediately when I got into the job, I really fell in love with it. It was around the same age range of kids. I know you guys have seen the staff, but my office is 17 to 25-year-olds. It's a young environment, and it was the same age range that I was around over at Elitch's, but it was a complete 180 shift in terms of people that I was around. Here in Vector, I was around D1, D2 athletes, a couple of valedictorians were on our team that summer. It was like 3, 5, and 4 students. It was just a bunch of young men and women who took themselves a lot more seriously in what they were going after in life. They had vision and they wanted success, and I really fed off of that. I love that, and so I've been here for 8 years. Long story short, the job helped me pay for school, never had to take out a student loan. Shortly after college ended, I was able to buy my first house, so while a lot of my friends were dealing with student loan debt and working through that, I was already learning to invest. And that's a good segue into our company. Vector Marketing has been around since 1981. For the past couple of years, Vector's been named Company of the Year by the National DECA Association. I have that poster right here in my interview so I can point at it. For the past 2 years, we've been named Company of the Year by the National DECA Association for students. A couple of reasons for that: the flexibility for our schedules, the experience that's provided, and we do award quite a few scholarships throughout the year for our students to help them pay for school. Now, the number one reason Vector stands out so much on a resume is the experience that's provided. Having Vector on a resume is a guaranteed job interview with many Fortune 500 companies because of the skills that we help teach. Right now, the statistic is 70 to 80% of college students that graduate from college end up not going into the field that they studied for 4 years to go into. Why? Lack of experience. It's lack of real-world skills and knowledge that employers really want to see. Everybody now has a great degree, but now they want to couple it with things that are actually going to help them succeed in their future endeavor. And so that's where Vector comes in. We teach time management, personal, professional, financial growth. So when I look to potentially work with somebody, I work with people that are really interested in growing themselves personally, professionally, and want to learn some financial skills. I don't want somebody who's just going to show up to work, clock in, clock out, do the minimal amount, get a paycheck. I want to work with people that want to grow. So on the other side of that, so that's what I love about my job. I'm like a little life 101 professor. Teach all the things that college just didn't have time to teach me, and that's really what I enjoy about my job. And then Cutco on the other end, Cutco finances our whole operation. And if they haven't heard of Cutco, I showed them a little picture of Cutco, the Cutco pitch. I say Cutco is the #1 rated kitchen cutlery in North America, #1 sold. Been around since 1949. We also make all the knives for our U.S. military. We do $250 million in sales each year. That puts us about 5 times larger than our next biggest competitor out there. We kind of kick the crap out of the industry. Now, the interesting side of that is 70 to 80% of those overall sales is done by students that are between 17 and 25 years old. One thing very consistent with all those students is most of them have never sold anything in their life before this job. This was my first experience in sales. That's why I do not look for any prior sales experience. It is absolutely not necessary. What stands out about my best reps and some of your guys' friends that are on my team right now is I look for my best reps. They've got an incredibly positive attitude, a strong work ethic, and most importantly, they follow our program. Our program works very well. We don't do any door-to-door. We don't do any cold calling. We're only working with customers that are at least interested in seeing what our product is all about. So we hang out with a lot of moms. I love that part about it. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to throw on the video. The video is going to dive into exactly what our company is looking for, exactly what I'm looking for, and what the position entails. As the video goes, I'm going to be taking notes of my own on your applications. The review goes more in detail, and then I talk about the questions that they're going to be answering. All right, so then I play the video.